All-Star as a rookie. The 30-year-old who turns 31 on Monday. Looking to continue this strong run of success. 8 consecutive starts, allowing 1 run or fewer. I mean, that is just outright dominance, and going 7+ innings now in 4 of his last 5. So Denard, a bit of an unusual guy in today's game, throws 7 pitches, and he's just been locked all season long.
Yes, he has been. He's been incredibly consistent. But you're right, that 7-pitch mix, he kind of throws the kitchen sink approach, trying to get hitters to, guess and keeping them off balance. And what I love about him as well is his ability to, switch up his game plan as the game goes along. But from doing research and talking to some people close within the pitching department, they say he does a phenomenal job at commanding all 7 pitches. So I look for him to go out there and attack these Arizona Diamondback hitters.
First pitch in there from Griffin. Carroll fouls it off. So Foster Griffin making his 21st start of the year. And that's our 16-4 in his first 20. Corbin Carroll leading it off for the Diamondbacks today. Shatters his bat as he sends this one foul down the line. And Foster Griffin does it all. He's going to go pick up the barrel himself. Here's the Diamondbacks lineup behind Corbin Carroll, the leadoff man today. Gerardo Perdomo will bat second. Gabriel Moreno, another 2-hit day for him yesterday. He'll bat third. Ketel Marte and our old buddy Ildemaro Vargas in the 4 and 5 spots. Nolan Arenado batting 6th. Tim Tawa, the center fielder, batting 7th. James McCann will bat 8th with Ryan Waldschmidt in the number 9 spot. And Foster Griffin ahead of Carroll, 0-2 to start this one off.
It's going to be interesting to see if Foster Griffin relies a little bit more on that changeup today. I know we're going to get into it as the game goes along. That's been a really good swing and miss pitch for him this season. He only uses it 10% of the time, but look for him to try to keep an offense in the Diamondbacks off balance that puts the ball in play at a high clip, and try to see if he can get them on their front foot.
Now they're 0-2 from Griffin to Carroll. Got him. Sweeper covering pretty much the whole width of the plate. And a strikeout for Griffin to start his afternoon.
See that nasty sweeper. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Foster Griffin's pitch arsenal. You see that cutter, that 4-seamer sweeper, which we just saw in the strikeout to Corbin Carroll. That changeup, nasty, that I was talking about, has really good side-to-side movement. Curveball, 2-seamer, and split finger.
This is away to Perdomo with ball 1. Geraldo Perdomo, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks last night in an 0 for 3. Grounds this one out to Abrams. CJ gets behind it, fires over to Chaparro, and a quick 2 outs for Griffin. Nationals defense today. Dalen Lyle back in the starting lineup. He'll be out there in left with Jacob Young in center and Dylan Cruz in right. Meade, Abrams left side of the infield. Nunez and Chaparro on the right. And Keibert Ruiz back behind the plate. He'll get a start against the lefty today. Diamondbacks throwing 3 left-handed starters in this series. And while Harry Ford has been getting the starts against left-handed starters since he got called up, with 3 southpaw starters for Arizona, Keibert getting the work today. Gabriel Moreno with 2 down. Reached base twice last night and now has been aboard in 21 consecutive ball games and 40 consecutive starts.
This guy's been locked in, especially in the month of July, seeing the ball really well and hitting more line drives.
And an early challenge here from Keibert Ruiz. ABS powered by T-Mobile, showing strike 1.
Washington has 2 challenges remaining.
So Keibert Ruiz confident there. 2 outs, nobody on in the first inning. Not a high leverage situation by any means, but knew it was strike 1.
Yeah, if you feel confident early in the game that, hey, that was a good pitch, by all means, go ahead and challenge it. And he was correct.
2-1 as the curveball misses. Moreno batting .312 this season. Missed some time earlier this year with a left oblique strain. If he had enough at-bats to qualify, his .312 average would rank 4th in Major League Baseball. Stu Sherwater behind the plate here this afternoon. Merzel, Drake, and Baker from first to third. A 3-1. is fouled off right side.
Yeah, you're going to see Foster Griffin leaning heavily on that cutter tonight, or today, I should say. That's a pitch that he is the most comfortable throwing. He tries to throw that to get hitters off of the barrel. We saw that cutter against Moreno off the label. He'll do that to lefties as well, trying to get them to hit the ball off the end of the bat.
Ready with a 3-2 to Moreno. High bouncer up the middle. Abrams charges. And he'll throw out Moreno. A 1-2-3 first for Foster Griffin. And here comes James Wood, ready to lead off in the home half of the first. In the top of the first, and here come the Nats. James Wood will lead off for the 105th time this season. A couple righties behind him in Meade and Chaparro. Similar lineup to last night for the Nats overall. C.J. Abrams, the cleanup guy. Cruz and Young in the 5 and 6 spots. Dale and Lyle a start tonight. And Keibert Ruiz will bat ninth against the 23-year-old lefty, Mitch Bratt.
Mitch Bratt, the young rookie, making his 4th start of his career, trying to catch his footing, trying to get settled in at the big league level. Has a 6-pitch arsenal. And then James Wood don't even let me get a chance to.
He's been swinging a lot first pitch of the game lately, and lines that one out to center, picked off by Tawa for the first out.
Did the same thing last night, James Wood did. But you see his 6-pitch arsenal, very similar to Foster Griffin, where he relies on a deep pitch mix as well as deception over velocity and power. But what has been his issue so far this season has been command. 6 walks in 10 2/3 innings. So if you're the Nats today, do not help him out. Do not expand the strike zone. Make him come over the plate. And then if possible, jump on that pitch right there, that 4-seam fastball early in counts.
Well, here's a guy who was patient last night, has been patient really all season long. Curtis Meade, 0 for 2 last night, but he drew 2 free passes. Takes the breaking ball away. And here's Curtis Meade in the month of July. Check out that on-base percentage of .470. And the OPS well above 1,000.
I got a chance to talk to him before the game, and he was just talking about how comfortable he is right now at the plate, as well as, just happy to be getting the opportunity to play every day and get consistent at-bats. And you're seeing a guy that is, I think, growing his confidence as each game goes by at the big league level.
Ahead of Bratt, 2-1. Calmly takes the fastball away. 3 balls, 1 strike. Mitch Bratt, native of Newmarket, Ontario in Canada. 5th-round pick of the Rangers back in 2021. Acquired from Texas last July in the Merrill Kelly trade. And walks Meade on 5 pitches. So, Denard, you mentioned the control issues for Mitch Bratt. That's now his 7th big league walk in 11 innings. Here's the defense for the Diamondbacks today. Waldschmidt, Tawa, and Carroll in the outfield. Nolan Arenado, Geraldo Perdomo left side of the infield. Marte and Vargas on the right. And James McCann, the veteran backstop, behind the plate. Brings up Andres Chaparro with a man on and 1 out. Takes ball 1.
Yeah, I think you see early on James McCann say, hey, let me go out here and talk to the rookie and see if I can potentially settle him down. He's leaving a lot of his balls arm side, and maybe that front side is opening up. Maybe he might try to go to a different pitch to see if he can find his arm slot. But, yeah, early on, it looks as if Mitch Bratt didn't have a good feel for his pitches.
Well, you mentioned his fastball, Denard, and the fact that he doesn't have really elite velocity. He throws his 4-seamer 41% of the time.
Yeah.
But the Nationals against left-handed pitchers have the highest OPS against fastballs in all of Major League Baseball. So you wonder for Mitch Bratt today, is he thrown off by those numbers? He's been throwing the slurve a lot early here in the first inning. Does he try and alter his pitch mix against the team that has crushed heaters this year?
I would imagine, he's well aware of the ability of the Nationals offense and how they crush fastballs. And so, yeah, I think you're going to see him try to do that, but it's going to come down to, can he consistently, throw his other secondary pitches for a strike? If he's not able to, then he's going to have to do what he needs to do to throw strikes. And if that's the fastball, then it's going to play into the advantage of the Nationals' game plan and what their strength is.
1-2 on Chaparro. Need a decent-sized lead down there at first. He holds as Chaparro takes ball 2. It's interesting. These are actually the top 2 teams in baseball, Nationals and Diamondbacks, in terms of both batting average and OPS against left-handed fastballs. So the Diamondbacks on the other side can handle a lefty heater. Chaparro waves at the slurve. And a strikeout for Mitch Brett for the second out. Show you up to the minute wild card standings. Nationals got some help last night. The Phillies, Pirates, Cardinals, and Marlins all lost. But they drop one to the Diamondbacks, now falling to 3 games back of Arizona for that final NL wild card spot. Marlins now have dropped 10 in a row after they had run off a winning streak of double digits recently.
Yeah, so definitely an opportunity for the Nats. Today's game, you got your ace on the mound. See if they can gain a game on the D-backs as well as some of these other teams that are in front of them.
Abrams bats with 2 down. Pops one up. Right side, Vargas battling the sun. A late adjustment, and he makes the catch. So a Meade 1-out walk doesn't hurt Mitch Brett, who works a scoreless frame.
Of work, and manager Blake Buter pregame press conference today was like, I'm running out of ways to describe Foster Griffin. He's just a tremendous clubhouse person, a tremendous worker, tremendous in terms of his preparation. He's very diligent with his work, a leader by example, not the outspoken type or like a rah-rah type of guy. He's a man of few words. He knows what he's doing, and he just keeps showing up and keeps performing every single time he's out there. Blake compared him a bit to Eduardo Rodriguez last night. He said he's going to make his pitches and he's going to work on the pitches that work for him. And leaning on those pitches is important, especially because he doesn't have that velocity necessarily. Like, doesn't have that really big stuff we're used to seeing, but the fact that he's able to maneuver without it is really impressive. Dan?
Thank you, Alexa. In this era of high velocity and trying to chase strikeouts, it's almost refreshing seeing a guy like Foster Griffin go about his business, and he's gotten a lot of swings like that this season. Ketel Marte flailing at a sweeper, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, I totally agree. I like the comp with the starter for the Diamondbacks last night, Eduardo Rodriguez, and a guy that, doesn't have the velocity, but he is up there pitching smart. He's pitching intelligently, switching up, his sequencing. He's, just seemingly one step ahead of hitters. And so that's what you see from Foster Griffin, a guy that truly understands how to pitch and get hitters out at the big league level. And
I think what's interesting about Foster is he's averaging nearly a strikeout per inning, and he's had starts where he's blown hitters away. He's had a bunch of 9 strikeout starts, 3 of them in his last 5 outings, as Marte takes the splitter low to fill the count. But he doesn't rely on the strikeout. And I think Denard, he goes from start to start, and if he feels like hitters are being aggressive early in counts, he'll adapt to that.
Yeah.
He's talked about how he doesn't want to chase strikeouts from the first pitch of the at-bat, which I think is refreshing as well. Out to left center, Lyle and Young converging, and the center fielder Young takes it for the first out. So some more on Foster Griffin over his last 8 starts, allowing 1 run or fewer in all of them and going deep into games as well. So this rules out the openers who maybe have gotten a lot of starts and not pitched deep into games. But Foster Griffin consistent with that dominance.
Yeah, and I just to add on to him not chasing strikeouts, I think he's a guy that is just going out there trying to execute and make quality pitches. If he happens to get those strikeouts, great. But I think ultimately he's trying to keep hitters off balance and induce weak contact.
Ildemaro Vargas out in front of that changeup, lines it foul.
And just, overall just trusting his defense to make the plays behind him.
Good to see Ildemaro back here at Nationals Park. Caught up with them yesterday. Played 234 games as a super utility guy with the Nats from 2022 through 24. Had a 257. 8 homers, 80 RBI in a Nationals uniform. Swings wildly at the Griffin cutter, and Keibert Ruiz took the brunt end of that. Ildemaro now parts of 10 seasons in the majors. Got off to a red-hot start with the Diamondbacks this year. First 27 games, batted .374 with an OPS over 1,000 and 6 homers. Pops this one down the right field line. Cruz will give chase. And he has it for the second out. A strikeout and a couple grounders for Griffin in the first. 2 fly ball outs here in the second. And he'll face the veteran Nolan Arenado with 2 down. Acquired by the Diamondbacks this offseason. Traded from the Cardinals. Still has another year left on a 9-year, $275 million deal here, originally signed with the Rockies. So traded from the Rockies to the Cardinals, now to the Diamondbacks throughout the course of that deal.
And then he waived his no trade clause to choose to go to Arizona. So I feel like offseason before, then the Houston Astros or somebody
made
else made a push, and he ended up vetoing that trade. And so yeah, he definitely saw something in this Arizona Diamondback club that made him want to come here and be a part of this club.
Griffin staying away from him so far, 3-0. The homer and RBI totals declining each of the last 5 years for Arenado. Last year batting just .237, a .666 OPS, and a 4-pitch walk. First base runner of the day for the Diamondbacks. And that'll extend the second to Tim Tawa. Tawa 2 hits and an RBI last night. Takes the breaking ball for strike 1. Denard, when you faced a guy who had such a wide arsenal like Foster Griffin does, how did you approach that?
You know what? That was very difficult because I was a hitter that liked to try to have a simple game plan and, try to categorize or put in order in my brain. All right, this guy has normally 4 pitches, and, all right, I'm going to key in on these 2 pitches that he likes to throw the majority of the time. But when you got a guy with 7 pitches, that's just a lot of information to try to process.
As Tawa singles through the left side. 2 straight base runners here with 2 down for Arizona.
Yeah, just a lot of information to process when you got a guy that's throwing 7 pitches, right? Especially when you're in a count, you're battling, maybe you got 2 strikes and you're trying to think, all right, this guy, he just threw me this pitch, he just threw me that pitch, he potentially could do this or do that. But when you got a guy who's commanding 7 pitches and you have 10 seconds to try to process that information and get back in the box and be ready, it would be challenging for me if I had to face a guy like him.
Faces the right-handed hitting James McCann with 2 away. Grounds it foul. And we were talking before the game, Denard, about how some pitchers with 7 pitches in their arsenal might throw 4 of them to righties.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 different pitches to lefties.
Yeah.
With Foster Griffin, the fact that he can throw pretty much any pitch to either side hitter.
Everything's in play.
Everything's in play.
Yeah. I mean, my best approach would be just try to be as compact with my swing, because I don't know if he's going to throw the 2-seamer in, the cutter away, the breaking ball. So I'm trying to shorten up my swing and, aim for the big part of the field. That would be my best game plan against a guy like Foster Griffin.
Fires an 0-2 to McCann. Misses up and away.
Maybe sacrifice, a little bit of a aggressive swing, even in hitters' counts. And, I mean, that was mostly my game anyway, as far as just contact and trying to hit low-line drives. But I would maybe even shorten up just a little bit more against a guy like this.
McCann goes down to get one, pops it out to left center. Jacob Young will settle under it. So Foster Griffin strands 2, top 2. And now here comes DC 3. Hit a 2-run homer last night. He'll lead off bottom 2 next.
Next at bat, ready to drive that baseball out of the ballpark, and got the Nats on the board.
The 8th home run of the season for Cruz. He leads off here bottom 2 against Mitch Bratt. 13 pitches, 7 strikes in the first. Cruz has been trying to make some adjustments to that high fastball, Denard, and I asked Blake Butera earlier today, what are the keys to doing that on the fly over the course of the season? And he said, well, listen, the book is out. If opposing pitchers know that a certain hitter is struggling with high fastballs, they're going to keep throwing you high fastballs, just like they would sliders in the dirt if that's what they know that you're struggling at. So he said for Dylan, it's kind of a two-pronged thing. You need to show that you can hit the high fastball. You also need to show that you can lay off the high fastball out of the zone. And if you take those ones for balls that are above the zone, and the ones that are clipping the top of the zone and maybe are mistakes a little bit below the top of the zone, you're punishing those. That'll scare them off of attacking you that way. But it kind of has to be both parts of that in order for pitchers to stop just peppering you up there.
And sometimes you got to take the game plan of like, here, I'm going to commit to this that I notice the league is trying to, get me out, and they've had success. So you got to make that conscious effort to say, all right, I'm going to take that from them. I'm going to show them, even if I'm cheating on it, I'm going to just show them to make them think that, hey, I've made that adjustment, and then hopes that they go back to your bread and butter and your strengths. And so, at the big league level, it's a constant, cat and mouse, tennis, volley, going back and forth. It's a mental thing. And, early in my career, teams thought that they could pitch me inside, and they were having success. And then there was about a good 2-week period where I had to cheat on that fastball in just to get them out of my kitchen, if you will. And so I think you have to do that as a hitter as well. Obviously, that's not his strength, but you got to show them that he can do it.
Well, he took a high fastball for ball 2, and then took 2 pitches close to that inside edge. Either of them could have maybe been called strike 3 by Stu Sherwater. Mitch Bratt not pleased, and a leadoff walk for Dylan Cruz here in the second.
Yeah, Dylan catching a break. That would have been a strike if challenged. It looked like it nipped the outside corner.
And now Jacob Young in ambush on a slider. Lines it down the line, and over there to get it is Waldschmidt. Got a good read on that hooking line drive, and Young the first out.
Yeah, this was a really, really good swing from Young, picking up the spin on that breaking ball, and did a good job keeping that head down, staying through the baseball. Off the bat, I thought that was going to be trouble. I thought I had a chance to get away from Waldschmidt, but yeah, Waldschmidt already planned him to pull and was able to get a good first step and corral that ball in.
Dale and Lyle now with 1 on and 1 out. Lyle came off the bench last night. Went 0 for 1. 11 homers, 49 driven in this season. Fouls off the fastball, ball and a strike. Brad started the season at AAA Reno, which is not exactly a team, a league, a ballpark where pitchers dream to play. But he put up really good numbers there. 13 starts for Reno. Pitched to a 2.41 ERA. Only gave up 4 homers in those 13 starts and had a whip under 1. So those numbers impressive regardless of ballpark, but when you factor in the Pacific Coast League and the elements there, even more impressive for the 23-year-old lefty. Got called up on June 24th, and this now his 4th major league appearance. Lyle chops one out to second, could be 2, but Marte just flat loses it. A gift for the Nationals. A tailor-made 4.63. Marte just flubbed it, and there's 2 on with 1 out.
Yeah, you're going to see on this ground ball, Marte catches it cleanly, but on the exchange, looked like he tried to be a little too quick with it maybe, and just lost the ball as he was trying to grab it with his throwing hand. And you're right about that, Dan. Yeah, the Nats definitely catching the break here. First and second, 1 out. It'd be nice to see if the Nats can take advantage of this mistake here. Situations where the offense has come up big.
Well, they went 0 for 4 last night with runners in scoring position. Stranded 7. Here's Nasim Nunez with 2 on and 1 out. Infielders pinch at the corners and a little inside move from Brad. With Lyle's speed, I take it back. I don't know if they turned that 4.63, but regardless, The error putting 2 on with 1 out. And now Nunez will hope to make Arizona pay. Takes a fastball up.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously would have got the runner out at second base. It would have been a tough call with, like you said, Lyle's speed going down the line. And you got to wonder if that maybe factored into why he was trying to hurry that ball and that transfer.
Well, the benefit, Denard, of guys running the bases hard.
That is it, yeah.
I mean, you put pressure on the opposing defense, and you never know if that factors into an error like that.
Most definitely.
The 1-1. Nunez in the air out to center. Back on it is Tawa, and he has it for the second out. Nashville's coming to Nationals Park. Join us on Friday, August 7th as the Nats take on the Reds. And then stick around for a Jordan Davis postgame concert with your ticket. Head to nationals.com/summer concerts. Denard, we both stuck around for Jason Derulo last night. You were singing along to every...
No, don't do that, man.
Every single... You've got a beautiful voice, I gotta tell you.
You need to stop, man. You're wild. That's funny.
2 on with 2 out. Here's Keibert Ruiz.
I was singing and you were pop locking.
What a duo we make. Ruiz hoping to put the Nationals on top here. Takes the breaking ball in there for strike 1. It's interesting with Harry Ford here and the numbers that he put up in AAA this season against left-handed pitching. He's been the guy starting against southpaw starters. But Keibert Ruiz this season, his stronger side has been from the right side of the plate. Fewer opportunities over the last week against lefties. And behind Brad here, 0-2.
Ruiz has been tough to strike out against lefties as well. And I was looking up some numbers too, like his day game stats are really impressive. So I wonder if that's the reason why he got the start. Day game average of 372. I wonder if that factors in. I don't know.
Yeah. Sends a 2-hopper over to short. Perdomo goes the short way. And the Nats strands 2 in the second. Still scoreless here in D.C. Through 58 pitches in that start. Was pulled in the middle of an at-bat as he hit his pitch count. And the Nationals didn't want him to get stretched too much further. And an ABS challenge here by Keibert Ruiz leading off the top of the third. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Keibert accurate at the top of the zone yet again.
2 for 2.
So 0-1 to Ryan Waldschmidt. Like Butera saying earlier today, that could be potentially Irvin's last rehab appearance before they activate him. He's currently working back from a right shoulder strain. Placed on the IL back on May 24th. Been a frustratingly long 2-month stretch on the IL for Jake. But if you go back to his last big league start before that IL stint, he didn't allow a hit in that appearance against the Braves. Went 5 no-hit innings. Has made 3 rehab starts since. Has only given up 2 total hits in those rehab appearances. So his last 4 starts, he's given up 2 hits and no runs. There's that last big league outing. 7 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Trevor Williams also making a rehab start last night for AAA Rochester. Waldschmidt down the right field line this time. That one foul. With more on Jake Irvin, let's go down to Alexa.
Dan, Blake was asked about what he heard about his command, his velocity. Blake said everything was great. He goes, I know he was upset because he came out of the game. He wanted to keep pitching, but he was on a pitch count, of course. But the fact that he wanted to keep going says a lot. Really healthy, and they're feeling good about him. He was asked, well, has Jake asked you about what next steps are? And he goes, no, not yet. And, you know, the comment back was like, well, he probably will. And he goes, yeah, well, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told you guys. Like, we're not sure yet, but the decision's coming here in the next couple of days. Dan?
Thanks, Alexa. 1-2 to Waldschmidt, misses low. Denard, did you, I mean, you landed on the IL a couple times over the course of your lengthy career. Did you have IL stints that lasted significantly longer than you felt initially like they would?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think. I mean, I feel like there was one IL stint at the end of my career, and I was with San Francisco, where Bruce Bochy, I think he was wanting me to make sure I had a handful of like good games consecutively before they called me back up. Physically, I felt fine and was itching to get back to the big leagues. So it wasn't, wasn't fun, or it definitely was not my choice to stay down in AAA for that amount of time. But I kind of just had to go about it and be a professional and get a few hits, play better.
Yeah, play. Lengthy at bat here. Waldschmidt awaits another 3-2. Chops it up the middle. Abrams ranging to his left. Bounces it over. But Waldschmidt can fly. And he beats out an infield single leading off the third.
Very athletic play from CJ up the middle. Going to his glove side. Knowing the speed of Waldschmidt. You see that ball take his momentum. And I don't think he had time to reverse spin. And so, he just tried to get rid of that ball as quickly as possible. Definitely wasn't as strong of a throw as it would have been if he would have done the reverse spin, but that was a great effort.
Waldschmidt aboard for Corbin Carroll, who takes ball one. Carroll leading Major League Baseball with 12 triples this season. Tripled in back-to-back games entering this series. Fouls off a cutter, ball and a strike. Won Rookie of the Year in the National League in 2023. Diamondbacks extending him on an 8-year deal, $111 million through the 2030 season.
I thought that was a smart decision. I mean, this guy is shown to understand what it takes to play at the big league level. I mean, he provides a ton of value on both sides of the plate, or both sides of the field, defensively and right field. Covers a lot of ground, has a good arm, and then at the plate, he gives you that steady presence at the top of the order. So those guys like him, and he's young, guys like him do not grow on trees, and you see the D-backs investing in him early in his career.
Just one of those guys that it seems like he can help your ball club in so many ways.
Correct.
Even if he's struggling offensively, the speed is always there. The defense is always there.
Totally agree. Yeah, he can affect the ball game in many ways. He's not a one-dimensional player by any means.
Griffin went away with the sweeper, which Carroll just fouled off. Then he busted him in with the cutter.
If he's going to go back to that sweeper again.
Another 1-2 after a hesitation, and he left it in. Drilled Carroll.
We'll see this fastball just getting away from Foster. I think he was trying to come in to set up that next pitch potentially with either his cutter or that sweeper, and that fastball just getting away from him.
So the infield single and now a hit by pitch have put 2 on with nobody out. Brings up Perdomo.
I wonder if he's going to bunt here. We saw them do that last night a couple times in these situations.
He squares and takes ball 1. Chaparro crashing from first.
I think if this was a year ago when Perdomo was having a career year, I think you would have seen him swing away in these types of situations. But understanding, this year is a little different year, and just trying to get the job done, get those guys in scoring position, and just playing the game of baseball.
A lot of his damage this year has been with the walk. He's drawn 65 free passes this year, 6th most in Major League Baseball. And although he struck out twice last night, he's been really hard to K this year. 9th lowest strikeout percentage in Major League Baseball. Squares again, gets this one down fair. Meade will bare hands, fired at first, and Nunez receives it for the first out. Waldschmidt advancing to third. Carroll to second on the sacrifice.
Nice bunt. Nice play over there as well from Curtis Meade. Coming in, bare hand play. throwing the strike all in one motion. It's not an easy play. It's crazy how just major league third basemen just make that play look so easy. I mean, of course they practice it a lot, but that is not a routine play by any means.
2 in scoring position for Gabriel Moreno. Big spot here early in this game. Nationals stranded 2 last half inning. Moreno bounced out to short to end the first.
In this situation, I think Foster Griffin looking for either a strikeout or weak contact to one of his infielders.
Ruiz throwing in behind the lead runner, Waldschmidt.
Like that, Waldschmidt with speed, so you got to assume more than likely he's going to be going on contact. And so as a middle infielder or as one of the infielders, as soon as you get that baseball, if it's a ground ball, you can't assume he's not going. You got to assume that he's going on contact, and you got to try to catch it cleanly and make a strong throw up the third base line for Ruiz to catch and potentially make the tag on Waldschmidt.
Well, Foster Griffin has been really diligent this season in terms of picking which hitters he wants to attack, which ones he wants to avoid. He's got a base open for Moreno, who chases a curveball down below the zone. 1-2.
Nice. Exactly what he's looking for. Looking for these hitters in this situation to expand the strike zone and maybe get himself out of a jam.
Chaparro playing in the 4-hole right side, well off the line.
Now you wonder, is he going to go back to that curveball because Moreno offered at it? Or do you go maybe fastball up in the strike zone, change eye level, see if he'll chase?
A 1-2 from Griffin.
Cutter
in, taken for ball 2. That cutter has been old reliable for Foster Griffin this season. A run value of +12 on that pitch.
It's amazing.
Now a 2-2. Missing low.
Yeah, I think he's going to be extremely careful. What you've seen these last 2 pitches with that base open. Definitely does not want to make a mistake to Moreno, who's been one of the hotter hitters in all of baseball. Having a career month right now in the month of July.
Got Ketel Marte on deck, whose numbers have been far better against left-handed pitching this season.
Yeah,
switch hitter.
Struggling too, so
yeah.
Marte.
A 3-2. Out to shallow center. That's going to fall. In from third is Waldschmidt. Right behind him is Carroll, who got a great read. Throw to the plate.
Nice.
Ruiz then goes to second. They get the batter runner Moreno at second. But 2 runs come in for Arizona. Waldschmidt and Carroll. And it's 2-0 Diamondbacks.
Tough break from Foster. Thought that was a fairly decent pitch. I mean, cutter up in the strike zone almost. Oh, it did get on him. That's why that ball was hit softly. But a good job with Ruiz coming up, realizing that there was not going to be a plate at home. Came up, met the baseball, and then threw a strike right here to get Moreno at second base.
So for the first time in 9 starts, Foster Griffin has allowed 2 or more runs in an outing. Score that, a 2-run single for Moreno, and 8-2-4 with Young getting an outfield assist.
Got the weak contact, just in no man's land. How much obviously Jacob Young could do on that one.
Yeah. And this whole inning, starting with an infield single and then a hit by pitch. Not exactly like Foster Griffin has gotten hit all around the yard in this frame. The Diamondbacks take the lead here, top 3. And now 1-2 on Marte.
It just shows you the run that he was on, just how difficult it was.
Yeah.
I mean, he made a good pitch right there, and you know, a lot of things got to go your way in order to have a ton of success at the big league level.
Cruz squeezes it. Marte retired to end the 3rd, but the D-backs jump on top. It's 2-0. Wood will lead off yet again. Put on an absolute show over the course of this entire season, but especially here at Nats Park. Denard, not many guys in Major League Baseball who can go to the opposite field with as much power as James Wood.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm looking at this chart, and he has more home runs to left center, and for me, that's all about, obviously how strong he is, how long he is, but also his hand speed, his bat speed. He gets that barrel through the strike zone, with the best of them around the league. Just among the league leaders in barrel percentage, exit velocity, and just consistently hitting the ball at a high level, high clip.
Ball one called by Stu Sherwater, and James McCann wants to challenge. It's ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Pitch is a strike.
And another
Arizona has 2 challenges
catcher's challenge. 0-1 on Wood. Those 18 home runs for Wood, the second most of any player in the National League. Had that ridiculous homestand going into the All-Star break. Earned him National League Player of the Week honors for the second time this season.
Babyface assassin. That's why I just made that up. I don't know if has anybody said that before.
I'm sure somebody has. There's a lot of people out there in the world.
Yeah.
Sinker at the knees, and it's 1-2.
Great point, Dan.
Still just 23 years of age. I think, there's so much that's impressive about this guy. But to do all of this, have this much success at 23 years of age, pretty special.
Juan Soto, Bryce Harper, not too many guys that, have been able to do what he's doing at, like you said, 23 years old and understanding the strike zone, even though you see him right here expand on this slurve. That's been the one pitch that he has struggled with this year, is that breaking ball, mainly curveballs.
Brings up Curtis Mead. Walked last time, giving him 3 free passes already in this series. Nationals in unfamiliar territory, trailing in a Foster Griffin start. As mentioned earlier, they've won 16 of his 20 starts so far this season, and a couple more of those were blown leads late. Bullpen unable to hold a Foster Griffin lead. (2-0 to Mead. Grounds it foul. Three and one.
Having another great AB from Mead.
Both of these. Sorry.
No,
go ahead, Dinar.
No, I was just going to say, I said this last night as well, as far as, his ability to control the strike zone. That's why you see him in the number 2 spot. I mean, he's definitely not your he would not be your prototypical 2-hole hitter because of his, he's not necessarily a speed guy, but with his ability to do that, his second walk of the day, and get on base, he's a guy that you want at that spot to set up for Chaparro and Abrams in the middle of your order.
We showed numbers before Curtis Mead's first at-bat of the game where he had a .470 on-base percentage in the month of July. He's walked in 2 plate appearances since. Now 4 walks in this series. Aboard for Andres Chaparro yet again. A wide strike one called by Stu Sherwater. Chaparro a double in 3 at-bats last night. Oh, 0-2. So we were talking about Rodriguez and Griffin earlier in terms of left-handers who don't throw especially hard and have found a way to have success despite that fact. How about Mitch Bratt? Not going to blow you away with the velo.
Looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, so far he's been pretty effective. Has not surrendered a hit to a Nationals batter yet. The 0-2. Chaparro takes it away.
It's kind of settled in you know, with his control. That first inning, you know, he's walked a few and was spraying the ball all over the place, and since then, last inning and a half, doing a better job at getting ahead and pounding the strike zone.
Chaparro turns and burns and keeps it fair down the line. That hits off the sidewall. Ball girl dances around it. Meade will be held at third by Victor Estevez. Andres Chaparro, another pull side double. And there's two in scoring position with one out. Another chance for the Nats to break through against the D-backs.
Yes, it is, and you'll see this pitch left up in the strike zone, and see Chaparro doing a good job keeping this ball fair. Now, yeah, the Nats are in business. Did a good job, man, keeping his hands inside that baseball just long enough. Saw he got around it a little bit, but keeping that ball fair down the line.
Good footwork by the ball girl there. So two in scoring position for Abrams. Nationals had two of these situations last night where they had second and third with just one out. Both times, Diamondbacks pitchers picked up a strikeout for the second out of the inning and then wiggled out of the jam. They keep their infield back here, conceding a run on a ground ball.
Yeah, that was a difference in the ball game last night. Those runners left on base. We'll see if the Nationals can capitalize on another big opportunity early in the ball game. Second and third, less than 2 outs. If you're CJ, you got to at least cash in on one of these runs here.
Fouls that one off his leg. 1-2. Nationals pacing all of Major League Baseball with 151 homers. Leading with runners on. In the month of July, most homers in baseball. And CJ, along with Luis Garcia Jr. and James Wood, all with 20 or more.
2 strikes. You're not thinking about trying to necessarily drive the baseball. Now you just want to put the ball in play.
He does out to right center on a line. That'll get into the gap. 2 runners will score easily. Abrams booking it into second. Slides in head first with a 2-run double to tie this game here in the third. Finally, the Nationals deliver with runners in scoring position, and this game is tied.
That's it right there. That'll baby. CJ got himself down in a 1-2 count, but this was a mistake pitch from Brott, and you see CJ keeping his eyes on that baseball, keeping his head down and getting the job done. This was the base hit that the Nats needed last night, but you see CJ getting the offense going, and they extend that streak of scoring runs. Here we go, 75 now.
An immediate answer after the Diamondbacks got on the board last half inning. Tried to get a fastball past CJ Abrams. That is tough to do. He and James Wood, 2 of the 3 best hitters in the National League in terms of slugging percentage against fastballs. And Abrams going to take off. Bratt throws right to the bag. Tag applied by Arenado. Abrams tried a sneak attack stolen base there. And he's the second out of the third inning.
Thought it was a good idea. He just left a little too early. If he would have waited maybe another half a second, I think he would have caught Brott sleeping and would have been able to walk into third base on the stolen base.
Good job there by the rookie lefty of not panicking when he turned around and didn't see Abrams standing there any longer. Another challenge from McCann on a breaking ball near the inner part of the plate. ABS powered by T-Mobile, showing strike 1. A 1-1 to Cruz, who takes it low. He walked leading off the second inning. Three and one. So second time through against Mitch Bratt. Some good ABs worked by Mead, Chaparro, Abrams, and now Cruz to get into a 3-1 count. And he takes ball 4. Get ready for another family fun day at Nationals Park. Join us this Sunday for a ball game under the sunshine against the D-backs. Plus, kids 12 and under can snag a Screech plush keychain presented by Harris Teeter. Head to nationals.com/promos. It's 4 walks already for Mitch Bratt, all of them drawn by Curtis Mead and Dylan Cruz.
Yeah, it's 2 tough right-handed hitters in this lineup, and yeah, you see Bratt maybe trying to be a little bit too careful when those guys have come up to the plate.
Brings up Jacob Young. Is it there from Brian Kaplan, the Diamondbacks pitching coach? Cruz, a perfect 6 for 6 stealing bases this season. He holds as Young hammers one up the middle. Thought about going first to third did Dylan Cruz. With 2 outs, he thinks better of it. They'll stop at second, and there's 2 on with 2 down.
Yeah, Dylan Cruz going into second aggressively, just in case Tawa maybe bobbles this baseball, trying to put himself in a position to go to third base. But yeah, Jacob Young, this was a great swing, stand right back up through the middle of the field, fastball up in the strike zone, and he hit the ball hard his last at bat, and now finally getting rewarded for a good swing.
2 pitches seen for Jacob Young in his 2 at-bats. Lined out to left last inning, singles up the middle here, and now here's Dalen Lyle. Pulls one down the right field line. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. Deep into the corner it goes, and 2 more runs will score. Lyle heading for third, in with ease with his 5th triple of the year. And the Nats have exploded here in the 3rd. 4 runs so far to make it 4-2.
Tell you what, that was pretty exciting from this vantage point, watching Dalen Lyle around those bases. He was moving, but see him taking advantage of this hanging breaking ball. It's a very similar pitch that C.J. Abrams took advantage of, and Dalen Lyle coming up first pitch with a game plan, looking for that pitch, looking for the ball up in the strike zone, gets one, and off to the races. His teammates like it. We like it.
Dalen Lyle, a triples machine. 11 of them last year in his rookie campaign, now picking up his 5th of 2026. The Nationals in this inning, 2 walks, a single, 2 doubles, and a triple.
Those walks coming back to haunt Bratt. And what we're seeing today is the Nationals taking advantage of chances and opportunities, guys on base and scoring position, and getting that key hit. Love to see that.
See Nunez not happy with that strike 1 call. Slider near the top of the zone. Count 2-1 with Lyle down there at third.
Okay, he's still in the driver's seat. 2-1 count.
Takes that one up. 3-1. Bratt approaching 30 pitches thrown in this frame. Down and in. 3 walks in this inning. Mead, Cruz, and now Nunez. And they're at the corners with 2 down for K-Bear.
Yep, and then coming into this game, this is what we talked about with Bratt having trouble with, just drawing walks and throwing walks and commanding the strike zone. And you can tell he has ability, he has talent, he has good stuff. But in order for him to pitch at the big league level, he's going to have to limit the walks and just be around the plate just a little bit more.
Well, Denard last night with 36,000 people here outside of Dylan Cruz's 2-run homer. Not a whole lot to cheer about for the Nationals Park crowd. They've given them more here in the 3rd inning. And now K-Bird on the first pitch out to shallow left center. So the Nats strands 2, but they score 4. C.J. Abrams a 2-run double smoked to right center. And then Dalen Lyle, his 5th triple of the year, plates 2 more. The Nats jump on top here through 3. And good afternoon to be at the yard as well. Nationals with a 4-run 3rd inning, countering the Diamondbacks getting 2 in the top half of the frame. And now Foster Griffin back to work after getting a bit of a breather. Denard, Diamondbacks worked him through those first 3 innings, making him throw 61 pitches. But nice to get a little rest and now retake the mound with the lead.
Most definitely coming in now with new life, pitching with a lead, and see if he can keep the score at 4-2, or at least keep the Diamondbacks with 2 runs. Maybe the Nationals, hopefully the Nationals score another 4 or 5 runs.
1-1 to Ildemaro Vargas. Big swing at a chest-high cutter. Vargas red hot of late. Had a walk-off against the A's a few days ago. 7 hits in his last 13 at-bats entering the game. Pops this one back a second, and Nasim Nunez retreats to snag it for the first out. So Foster Griffin getting the first out of the 4th. Now faces Nolan Arenado. Walked back in the 2nd inning.
Tell you what, that sweeper had a ton of movement on that one.
Arenado pulls it down to 3rd. Curtis Mead takes care of that, and quickly 2 outs. Well, among qualified National League starters, here's where Foster Griffin ranked coming into the game. Top 10 in so many key categories. How about that walk rate at just 5.7%? Barely allowing a base runner per inning.
Just incredible.
Getting the win in 4 out of his last 5 starts. Has won 7 consecutive decisions.
Talk about that command. I think that's why he's been able to go like 7 innings pitch, right? Because he's pounding the strike zone, keeping that pitch count down, and seeing himself in the 6th and 7th inning consistently.
Just missing the outside corner. 2-0 to Tim Tawa. Tawa played collegiately at Stanford. Broke into the big leagues last year, 54 games. Hit 7 home runs, but played 6 positions for the Diamondbacks. One of those uber versatile guys. They have another in Ildemaro Vargas, who they've been playing primarily at first base this season. How can you help a ball club? You can hit for power, you can hit for average, you can draw walks, you can also play a ton of positions defensively.
See a lot of that more in the game than ever before.
Out to right center, Jacob Young takes care of it. So that's a shutdown inning right there from Foster Griffin. Barely over 10 pitches to get the Diamondbacks 1-2-3 in the 4th. With us this weekend, putting him to work even with those reads.
I'm telling you, caught me off guard with that one. I love it though.
So well handled though. Top of the order for the Nationals here, bottom 4. Wood, Mead, and Chaparro. They sent 9 to the plate last inning against Mitch Bratt. Scored 4 runs. Wood taking strike 1 here in the 4th. 1 for 6 in this series. Hits this one hard through the whole right side. A leadoff single for James Wood.
I was actually surprised that Bratt went to the fastball, knowing that James Wood literally obliterates this pitch type. James has struggled against the curveball. He threw that first pitch, which was a curveball. and he didn't offer at it, and he tried to go to the fastball, and the result was a hard-hit ball, which he's been doing all season. The Nats will take it.
Curtis Mead has walked twice today. Takes ball one from Bratt. Nationals entering today at 52-52 through their first 104 games. The 17th time this season they've been at 500. Just been back and forth. A game over, 2 games over. Fall back to 500. Win a series on the road. Struggle a little bit at home. Back to 500.
Take one step forward.
Yeah, one step back. A dramatic improvement, obviously, from where they've been as an organization the last few years. As Mead sends one to short, the Diamondbacks will turn it. Perdomo, Marte, and Vargas on the 6-4-3.
Go ahead, they've been consistent.
And listen, you know, before you get to 10 games over 500 and 20 games over 500, you probably have to have a season where you're hovering around 500. Nobody expected the Nationals 105 games into the season to have a chance to bust over 500 yet again. This is all a pleasant surprise for us.
No question. They put themselves in a really good position playing meaningful games here at the end of July.
Yep.
And giving the front office something to think about.
Yep.
A young ball club with a ton of potential.
And who knows, you get hot, you rattle off 5, 6 in a row.
And that's all you're looking for, really, is just to, you know, even as a player individually, you're grinding and you're grinding and you're trying to keep yourself, you know, your head above water, if you will, and in hopes that all of a sudden something clicks and then all of a sudden you go on a long hitting streak or a long winning streak collectively as a team. And so, you know, they potentially maybe have not played their best baseball all season long, but they're right there in the thick of things. So it'd be nice to see them, yeah, like you said, win 9 out of 10 or go on a nice little run.
Chaparro takes the breaking ball at the knees. Didn't like it, but doesn't challenge it. Count is 2-2. Doubled to left field his last time.
Oh, no, that would have been close.
Would have been close. It's the 6th pull side extra base hit for Andres Chaparro in July, leading this Nationals team. In a lineup with Abrams and Wood and Mead, some really good pull side hitters. Garcia as well. It's Chaparro leading the way this month. Ooh. Long run there by the second baseman Marte. That was a little 75-foot pop-up. And he came in to snag it with a slide. The Diamondbacks face the minimum. Bottom $50 to the Children's Inn at NIH. Only one of them for Foster Griffin today. He's only walked one as well. Went 10 pitches in his last frame. Gets a first pitch swing here to lead off the 5th. Dylan Cruz into the corner. A lunging catch. A step from the wall.
Ooh. Okay, I see you, Dylan. See you out there covering some ground. Nice play. Good first step. Good read. He obviously is at his home ballpark, so he understands where he is. He feels his feet on that warning track and times that up with the reach and then runs into the wall. You see Foster Griffin. He loves that.
Robbing James McCann to lead off the 5th. Yes, his home ballpark, but he's played everywhere in the outfields of late. He's in center field. He's played a little bit of left. You played, you know, center field the vast majority of your career. The challenges for an outfielder of moving around and still feeling like you know every nook and cranny of that outfield fence?
Yeah, it's definitely challenging. I did that the first, year and a half of my career. I was in the lineup every single day, you know, as a leadoff hitter, but I was in a different outfield position depending on who was pitching, who was in the lineup. And yeah, it was definitely challenging, but I had to come out every single day during batting practice and take my shagging seriously at whatever position I was at to, you know, get comfortable to, you know, the ball flight and the spin of baseballs coming off the bat. And so definitely not an easy thing to do if you're Dylan Cruz playing multiple positions. So, but he's a great athlete and he just showed it right there.
Griffin behind the number 9 man Waldschmidt, 3-1. Challenged him, and Waldschmidt sends another out to right. A little easier this time for Cruz, and there's 2 down. Well, in between innings, we had a little bit of an interesting situation here. We're getting ready to come back from break. Oh, Denard, you've got a underarm.
Man, what is going on here?
An absolute freak out from Denard Span. We know you don't like birds. We found that out from your time in San Francisco when they descended upon you at the end of the game. We know you don't like Gatorade baths because you shoved me into the path of that. And we know you don't like beetles as well. That was a big one. I'll give you that. But
I thought my life was over for a split second. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was it, man. I'm like, what is going? You know what? But when you're so high, we're like, I don't know where we are. We're extremely high up in this booth, and you see different types of bugs. I didn't know what that was. That bug was like green and blue, and he was, come on, he was huge, right?
Yeah, it was a big one.
And then you nonchalantly say, "Hey, bro, you got a bug on your arm."
What do you want me to do?
I thought it was going to be like a little mosquito.
You're gonna freak out.
I thought it was going to be a mosquito.
We can't both be freaking out up here.
Or
Somebody's got to be calm.
I thought maybe it might be a gnat, pun intended.
The verbal component of that you didn't hear when we showed you that replay was, "Hey, hey, hey."
Well, because you said it nonchalantly, and then when I glanced at it, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I got a bug," and that's a big bug.
1-2 to Corbin Carroll. Never know what you're going to get here when you come fill in on Nationals TV. Foster Griffin, another 1-2-3 frame. He's retired 7 in a row, and another quick inning for the left-hander, keeping his team on top by 2. Foster Griffin has put that up in the 4th and 5th, retiring 6 consecutive hitters on just 20 pitches from the 4th through the 5th, keeping the Nationals on top 4-2. And a chance to add on for C.J. Abrams and company here in the 5th. Abrams getting his 3rd look at Mitch Bratt. Doubled out to right center his last time, bringing in 2 runs and giving him 78 RBIs on the season, which now leads Major League Baseball. How about that?
Very impressive the year he's having.
This one, a high fly ball out to right. That'll push Carroll back onto the track, at the wall. It's out of here. Home run number 25 for C.J. Abrams, tying Ian Desmond for the most home runs in a single season by a National shortstop. And we're still in July. 5-2 Nationals.
I was just getting ready to say he had missed that fastball, just missed it the first pitch of the bat. And then Mitchell brought through another 4-seam fastball right there, and you see CJ catching up on that one, seeing that ball out of his hand nicely, and man, he's having himself a career year.
Yesterday went 2 for 4. Didn't really square up either baseball. Just a run-of-the-mill 2 for 4. Today he pops out in his first at-bat and then laser beam out to right center in the 3rd to bring in 2 runs and a missile over the tall wall in right center for his 25th home run of the season. We talked about the 23-year-old James Wood and how impressive he's been at a young age. How about C.J. Abrams at 25 years of age, having a monstrous season as well. 1-2 to Cruz. And how about this? James Wood and C.J. Abrams becoming just the 4th teammate duo in Major League history who are 25 or younger to have 25 homers by the end of July.
It's crazy.
And how about Harmon Killebrew and Bob Allison on there back in 1959? So 2 of those 4 duos coming right here in D.C.
Nice.
Nolan Arenado playing 3rd base for the Diamondbacks today, and Trevor Story. Dylan Cruz down on strikes for the first out, but show us the homer again.
Look how compact that swing is and how he's able to get the barrel, tight turn, and just such an efficient swing from CJ. Not much wasted movement. Does a good job also at using his lower half. And man, him and James Wood, 2 of the most exciting ball players, and Nats fans are lucky to see them every single day in the same lineup.
5 unanswered from the Nationals. 1-0 to Jacob Young. Change up at the top of the zone, ball and a strike. Can't get to the fastball away, 1-2. Nobody warming yet in the Diamondbacks bullpen. They had an interesting scheduling situation. They had a scheduled day off on Thursday originally, but had to fly to St. Louis before starting this 3-city trip because they had to make up a game. So they flew into St. Louis, played one game against the Cardinals, then came to D.C.
Bullpen maybe a little tax out there.
Potentially. Got to be a factor for Torey Lovello. But that bullpen has been exceptional for him lately. They'll make their way from D.C. to Pittsburgh and then to Cleveland on this trip. Pulling this foul into the far camera well. This D-backs club have now won 4 straight and 10 of their last 12. Last night's win for them, giving them a 2-game lead over Pittsburgh for the final wild card spot in the National League, and they get within a game of the Phillies.
Yeah, they're playing good baseball, especially in this month of July. Offensively, they've been swinging the bat nicely, and they've been throwing the ball, pitching well.
And Jacob Young going to pick up another knock. He's 2 for 3 today, and 2 hits here in the inning off of Brett.
Yeah, Jacob Young seeing the ball nicely today. It's probably the softest ball that he's put into play, but still is able to find some green grass. Nice 2-strike approach.
Now Dale and Lyle. Denard, you've gotten to watch Dalen a little bit now. What do you like about this 23-year-old left-handed hitter?
I'm very impressed with him, man. Just his maturity and just the way he approaches the game, and obviously his athletic ability, his speed. I think he has it. I think he has that it factor that you're looking for when you're looking for impact players. He's always cool, calm, and collected at the plate, and it just doesn't seem to get rattled easily.
Goes to the opposite field, out to Waldschmidt, and there's 2 down. Lyle in the lineup nearly every day against a left-handed starter. You as a left-handed hitter, what did you find to be the key when you faced left-handed pitching to allow you to stay in the lineup against lefties and not become a platoon guy?
Just keep it simple. Don't try to overswing. Keep my front side in. Give up the inside part of the plate and look for something out over the plate and just try to shoot the ball left center up the middle of the field. In a lot of ways, whenever I'd face a left-handed pitcher, it would get me back locked in because I had to, once again, simplify my swing. And as a righty, I would tend to get a little bit too big and open up, and the front side would, just fly open. And
check on Young at first. Just now, Gerardo Carrillo getting loose, and he's got ties to the Nationals. Acquired by the Nats as one of 4 players they got back for Max Scherzer and Trey Turner. It was Keibert Ruiz, Josiah Gray, Gerardo Carrillo, and Donovan Casey. Gerardo Carrillo never reaching the majors in the Nationals organization, but here he is back at Nats Park, now as a member of the Diamondbacks. Isn't it weird how baseball works? An 0-2 to Nunez. Young takes off from first. Ball 1 at the plate, and Young in safely.
Nice.
Jacob Young a stolen base to get into scoring position, his 12th bag of the year.
Nice. Great time to go for Jacob Young. Good jump. It's 1-2 count, breaking ball off speed count. And so, if he gets thrown out, then Nasim Nunez is leading off next inning. And now he puts himself in scoring position with Nunez having an opportunity to potentially knock him in here.
Takes ball 2. Nunez batting .310 this season with runners in scoring positions. Driven in 28 in those situations, and fouls this one off right side. Brad put up zeros in the first and second innings, but the Nationals got to him for 4 in the third. And C.J. Abrams added on another here, leading off the 5th. Another 2-2 to Nunez will come after an inside move.
I'd like to see Nunez try to stay on the ball just a little bit longer. Think about hitting that ball to right center.
Young going to take off yet again as Nunez takes ball 3.
Nice.
And JY into third standing up.
Nice. Incredible read from Jacob Young. No shot at a throw. He's already 3 steps in before Brad even lets go of this baseball, and Brad obviously locked in on Nunez at the plate.
Nunez pops it up. Playable for McCann. So the Nats strand a man at third, but they add to their lead. C.J. Abrams. Pitch at his belt. Sends it over the high wall in right center. 25th of the year for Abrams. Makes it 5-2 Nats.
Where he's got those 9 strikeouts versus the 2 like the last time out against Sacramento. He said against the A's, I feel like their approach was to not let me get to 2 strikes because my options get bigger for what to throw in 2-strike counts. So they put the ball in play a lot. Didn't get as much swing and miss, but I did a really good job of keeping the ball on the ground, especially in that ballpark, because anything in the air can raise your heart rate. I really like to look at what pitches against that team have a high ground ball percentage. So that was the strategy going into it, and it worked all right. I don't know if it was the air or the environment, but my splitter was my best that it's been metrically versus the A's. So even though I didn't get a whole bunch of swing and miss, I would say that that might have been my highest swing and miss pitch. It was helpful to keep them on the ground. It had some good depth to it. So I feel like my percentage of that pitch was probably more than it's been in a while. And then I had the backdoor sweeper. It was pretty good. And then the cutter I always fall back on. So it's just interesting to pick his brain. Dan?
Thank you, Alexa, and some nice work by Andres Chaparro supporting Griffin there, snagging the line drive off the bat of Perdomo.
Cat-like reflexes from Chaparro over there at first base.
Well, don't let that frame fool you. Andres Chaparro's got good feet down there. He can move a little bit. And he picked off that liner for the first out in the 6th.
I'm the big cat.
Yeah. Andres Galarraga. How about Andres Chaparro? One down for Gabriel Moreno. Well, talking about Foster Griffin, we discussed earlier on, Denard, his cutter and how that's been such a weapon for him. I was talking to him recently about that pitch. He said when he was with the Royals, a first-round draft pick, they actually didn't really want him throwing a cutter. They had, organizations have an idea of how they want to develop their pitchers, especially their big-ticket items, right? Yeah. And maybe they feel like all of them should fit the same molds. I want my pitcher to have fastball, curveball, change, those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So he didn't really get the opportunity to throw a cutter when he was with the Royals organization initially. Good work by CJ moving to his left, and there's 2 down in the 6th. But it was after he got injured, maybe fell down the prospect rankings a little bit, and he was saying this as he was laughing, that it freed him up to have the organization let him start throwing a cutter. It developed for him late in his initial stint in the big leagues. Then he made his way over to Japan, further developed the pitch, and it's been his main weapon since returning. The journey of a pitcher and the journey of a specific pitch in his arsenal over the course of his career. I found it interesting.
And the journey of being a prospect and then maybe going into not being a prospect,
right,
and having, like you said, that freedom for him to, maybe explore a little bit more. And I'm sure he had learned a lot in those earlier years, and trying to be coachable and trying to do what the organization wanted him to do. But then as your career goes on, maybe you have some injuries or you don't have some success. Then you start to mature and you start realizing, like, hey, I got to do what's best for my career and figure something out, figure out a way to be effective so that you can get to the big leagues. And so that's part of maturing. That's part of going through the minor league system and just that whole process. And I think every player has to go through that. Some players like James Wood and CJ Abrams, they go through it and figure it out a lot sooner. But I would say for the majority of ball players, they have to go through that.
It's not always a linear process.
No,
right?
no. Everybody's journey is totally different.
So Foster Griffin has now retired 9 in a row. Gets a weak ground ball out to short. Abrams will fire, throws out Marte, and Foster Griffin threw 61 pitches through 3, and now he's gotten his way through 6. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Nats against a guy who for a bit there played a significant role in the Nationals organization, even though he never made the major leagues for the Nats. Gerardo Carrillo, one of 4 players gotten back in the Max Scherzer and Trey Turner trade. It was Scherzer and Turner to the Dodgers in return for Keibert Ruiz, Josiah Gray, Gerardo Carrillo, and Donovan Casey. And here's Carrillo for his 2nd major league appearance, and it comes at Nationals Park against Keibert Ruiz. How about that? These two guys traded together to the Nats.
Trade partner versus trade partner. Who's going to win the duo? Or the matchup, I should say.
Ruiz 0 for 2 today. He misses away with the curveball. Ball and a strike. Carrillo, 27 years of age, out of Mexico. Made it up to Double-A in the Nationals organization. Last year with them was 2023. Pitched in the Mexican League in 23 and 24, and then signed a minor league deal with the Rangers last year. Made his way up to Triple-A for a couple of appearances, got hit around there. Signed a minor league deal with the Diamondbacks this offseason, a 4.15 ERA at Triple-A Reno. Threw 2 innings for the Diamondbacks a few days ago in his big league debut, and now he pitches here at Nats Park. 2-2 to Ruiz. And Keibert Ruiz lines one down the right field line, into the corner and fair. Ruiz wins that battle of former Dodger prospects traded to the Nats. A leadoff double here off Gerardo Carrillo in the 6th.
See Ruiz showing why the Nationals traded for him, showing off that speed and that hit tool, taking advantage right here of a hanging splitter. He did a good job at keeping those hands back. You see him using his legs. And I don't know what that is, but but we'll take the double, though.
Into scoring position for James Wood. Checks the swing and bumps it foul.
Do you know what that was? Is
that's one of the moves. They've got a couple moves. James and CJ like kind of a meditation move. They close their eyes.
Woosah.
A little woosah, yeah. Then you got the kind of
the LeBron.
Yeah, the LeBron move.
Okay. Silencer.
So here's Wood, who singled last time. Fastball at the knees, 0-2. James Wood here at Nationals Park. First in total bases, runs, and extra base hits of any National League player in his home yard. How about that OPS over 1,000?
Boy, like in his bed at home.
That's right.
Home cooking.
1-2.
From this area too, right?
Yes,
not too far.
is.
Maryland, right?
Yep. He's an only guy.
He's a what?
Only Maryland.
Oh, the only guy. What's that?
O-L-N-E-Y. Only.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was like, what?
Not an only guy.
Is that the name of the county or something?
It's the city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, town, whatever. Wood down on strikes, and there's one out here in the 6th.
Just not able to hold that swing for James Wood. He knew it right away.
Curtis Mead, couple walks and a double play ball. So we know the stories of Keibert Ruiz and Josiah Gray, who came to the Nationals in that Scherzer and Turner trade. It took Carrillo 8 minor league seasons to crack a big league roster and appear in a game. Donovan Casey, the 4th player acquired in that trade, was called up to the Nationals roster in April of 2022, but never appeared in a game. Was optioned back down a few days later and never got called back up to the big leagues. Joining a small and kind of bizarre circle of ball players to have made a roster but never gotten into a game and garnered a major league stat line of any kind.
Still considered a big leaguer, though. He can say that.
Big leaguer. Yes, he can.
Part of that small number fraternity. I got to imagine that's tough, man. That's a lot of pressure. You get traded for, you know, one of the best pitchers in the game at the time, and organizationally, you know, your peers are looking at you, expecting great things. And so, yeah, I don't envy, you know, those prospects that were traded for Max Scherzer.
You know, one of the 2 players that went to the Dodgers in that deal is going to end up in Cooperstown. You never know. It could be 2 if Trey
That's what I'm saying,
continues to have a lengthy career. Getting traded for 2
Hall of Famers, potential
Hall of Famers. I mean, that's. We talked last night about, you know, you getting traded to the Nationals and maybe some pressure that you felt early on to try and fit in and have success, and you were an established big leaguer.
That was for a prospect, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's Luis Garcia Jr. off the Nationals bench. He'll pinch hit for Andres Chaparro. Grounds one down to first on the first pitch. Vargas to Carrillo, and Gerardo Carrillo at Nationals Park for the first time. Posts a 0. 2 Nats as we go to the late innings. Foster Griffin thrown 94 pitches through 6, but he's back out there to start the 7th. Eddie Jean is warming in the Nationals pen. But Foster Griffin, who's been a workhorse for the Nationals all season long, will remain that way here today. He's allowed just 2 runs on 3 hits. And Denard, a lot of factors that go into these decisions for managers. Obviously, the Nationals bullpen has struggled. Foster Griffin pitching on an extra day of rest after the Nationals had a team day off on Thursday.
Great point.
So coming into this outing fresh.
And then look at those last couple innings. He's been 9 up, 9 down, so hasn't been any high-stress innings, and it's been cruising. So, yeah, let him go out there and see if he can get you through one more inning.
Pounds a fastball in there to start Ildemaro Vargas. Last 8 outings for Foster Griffin, including today, he's averaged 99 pitches per outing. He's gotten Vargas to put the ball in the air twice, a fly out to right and a pop out to second, and this one lined out to left for a leadoff single. First base runner for the Diamondbacks since Gabriel Moreno's 2-run single with 2 outs in the 3rd. There's Eddie Jean. And Luis Garcia Jr. taking over at first base, giving a hug to his good buddy Ildemaro. Nolan Arenado bats with 1 on and nobody out. Pulls this one down the line. Meade stabs it, fires to second for 1. On to first, a beautiful around the horn double play. That was a big league twin killing right there, Denard.
That was beautiful. Tailor-made. You see Meade with the good first step, backhand, and then what a strong throw, man. I can watch Nunez play second base any day of the week. Tailor-made, textbooked. That was fun to watch right there, and just like that, 2 outs.
Foster Griffin 1 out away from going 7 or more innings for the 5th time in his last 6 starts. In today's game, Major League Baseball in 2026.
It's impressive.
That is not seen
You
too
don't
often.
see that. Yep, you're right. Especially with the pitch count era and I don't want to say load management. That's a basketball term, but essentially the same thing where, teams are very cognizant of the stress and the amount of, pitches and usage they're putting on these starting pitchers.
And the platoon matchups. Teams are loading up their lineups with righties against Foster Griffin. And he's still finding a way to pitch deep into games and avoid his man. I mean, he's earned it. He's earned the right to pitch this deep into ball games.
Most definitely.
But when teams are so often going to the platoon matchup out of their bullpen, Foster Griffin is neutralizing that. This one is laced out to left, and this will be extra bases for Tim Tawa with 2 down. Foster Griffin getting north of 100 pitches and now in a little bit of a jam here. Tawa to second with 2 outs. Blake Butera going nowhere. He will send Simon Matthews to the mound. Eddie Jean ready when called upon. It's the bottom of the Diamondbacks order here. James McCann due up. Number 9 man Ryan Waldschmidt on deck. So 2 right-handed hitters, but guys without big offensive numbers this season. And again, Denard trusting his all-star lefty as Blake Butera.
Yeah, I think that's a big factor. I think if maybe they were at the top of their lineup or in the heart of their lineup, they might lean on going to the bullpen with a fresh arm, a fresh righty coming out. But you're right, the 8-9 hole hitter in this lineup. So yeah, let Griffin go out there and at least give him one more opportunity to get through the 7th inning.
James McCann, veteran catcher in his 13th big league season. 0 for 2 today. And Griffin a backdoor sweeper to start him with strike 1. Interesting. Reverse splits for McCann this year. McCann late on the cutter. Fouls it off right side. 0-2.
Like it. A good cutter in on McCann's hands. Now he's in the driver's seat. 0-2 count. See if he maybe expands the strike zone, spoils a few pitches to see if he'll expand or see if he'll try to set up that sweeper.
The 0-2 bounces well in front of the plate. Ruiz able to chest it down.
Good block by Ruiz. Smothered that ball nicely. He knew that breaking ball was coming, so you see him get low and
then get high.
Then get high and try to get that ball back going towards the dirt.
So first 3 pitches to McCann. Sweeper, cutter, curveball. Another example of Foster Griffin using everything.
Yep.
The whole kitchen sink.
That's it.
His 105th pitch of the day. Misses outside. 2-2. Garcia playing well off the first base bag into the 4-hole. Straight up in the outfield are the Nats.
Go back to that cutter.
A 2-2. McCann just got a piece of the split.
Throwing that all day, I feel like, right? Or if he has, maybe once or twice.
It's a pitch that he learned over in Japan. Foster Griffin trying to complete 7 innings yet again. Getting a little help from the crowd here at Nationals Park. Misses up and away with a heater, and it's 3-2. Maybe starting to run out of gas here a little bit. Haven't seen wide misses from him this afternoon into evening.
I think you got to go to Old Faithful, that cutter. That's his go-to pitch.
A 3-2 to McCann. Lined out to right for a base hit. That'll bring Tawa to the plate. And the Diamondbacks get a run closer here in the 7th. It's 5-3. McCann working a long battle there against Griffin. And he brings Tawa in. What do you do now if you're Blake Butera?
Go get him.
That'll be it for Foster Griffin. Doesn't quite get through the seventh inning for the 5th time in his last 6 starts, but he should still get a heck of an ovation from this Nationals Park crowd. Another outstanding outing from the left-hander.
At Farmers.
This afternoon, 5-3 Nats as we play on here, top 7. Diamondbacks have gotten a run closer. They've knocked Foster Griffin out of this game. And here's Eddie Jean making just his 3rd major league appearance, and he's worked his way into high leverage spots. Nationals up by 2, and it'll be a pinch hitter here. Max Kepler will bat for Ryan Waldschmidt. Sinker in there from Jean at 98 for strike 1. It's a product of how well Eddie Jean has pitched in his first 2 Nationals appearances. Also a product, obviously, of the Nationals' bullpen struggles, trying to find guys who can rise to the occasion late in ball games.
A lot to like about Eddie Jean. You see that power sinker that he has, sits around 97 to 99 mile an hour, gets a ton of ground balls with that. I'm sure he would love to get a weak ground ball to C.J. Abrams or Nasim Nunez to end this inning.
This is into Kepler, 2-1. Jean has gotten 6 outs in each of his first 2 big league appearances. Has allowed just 1 hit, struck out 4 and walked 2. Kepler late on the sinker, 2-2.
See if he's going to go to that changeup. It's been an effective pitch for him with 2 strikes. I think he has it set up nicely after throwing a few of those nasty 2-seamers. Now he goes back to the sinker.
99 from the big right-hander. This is the first start for Foster Griffin allowing more than 1 run since May. Still in line for his 12th victory of the season, and responsible for McCann down at first. Corbin Carroll waiting on deck. Jean's 2-2. Over but low, and the count goes full.
All right, the runner at first base definitely will be on the move. 3-2 count, 2 outs. If you're in the outfield, you want to try to keep this ball in front of you. Last thing you wanted to see happen is this runner from first base score on a ball in the gap.
Kepler a check swing and a changeup left up in the zone, and that'll fly over the Diamondbacks dugout.
Yeah, in the outfield, you wouldn't say quite no doubles you want to play, but you want to play a few steps back than what you normally would play to try to keep this ball in front of you.
McCann off on another 3-2. Kepler fouls it off yet again.
Man, it looks like a heavy sinker from Jean's hand.
Dan Kolko, Denard Span, Alexa Dad here with you on Nationals TV. Nats trying to get even in this 3-game series. Dropped a 1-run ball game last night. A 2-run lead here in the 7th. Another 3-2, and Kepler grounds it down to first. Garcia will take care of that himself, and Eddie Jean comes out of the bullpen to strand a runner and keep the Nats up by 2.
Talked about it a little bit yesterday, just how he has matured as a hitter, knowing when to be aggressive and picking his spots, and having himself a career year. Look at these numbers since the All-Star break: 5 home runs, an average exit velocity of 101.2, and hitting some bombs too. 418. That's his average on those 5 home runs.
He's driven in 3 today, giving him 79 RBIs this season. 2 more than Yordan Alvarez and Jordan Walker, who are in the number 2 spot across the major leagues. And now with the Nationals lead cut to 2, trying to add some more insurance here. Second inning of work for Gerardo Carrillo. Worked around a leadoff double last frame. Abrams down the left field line, slicing, foul. Max Kepler pinch hit to end the last half inning. He'll stay in the game in left field in place of Waldschmidt. Abrams, Cruz, and Young due up against Carrillo. CJ out in front of the splitter, 1-2.
Nasty pitch. Tumbling action on that one. CJ not able to pick up the spin and out in front.
The 1-2. Abrams out to left center. That's going to fall. And CJ a 3-hit day. A double, a homer, and now a leadoff single. And a chance to get those wheels in motion.
CJ thankful for this fastball up. Once again, I said a second ago just how he's been hunting fastballs this season, and as well that compact swing that allows for him to get on top of this baseball. And understanding with 2 strikes, I'm not trying to do too much, and that's why I was talking about him just being a little bit more mature, understanding the situation, understanding what count he was in, and putting that ball in play and getting himself another base hit.
Caught stealing earlier today.
You know he wants to make up for that. He'll try to get him back here, I'm sure, if given the opportunity.
Down there with his buddy Ildemaro Vargas. Those two text each other back and forth repeatedly. Ildemaro telling me yesterday he checks in on CJ all the time. Became really good friends in Ildemaro's 3 years with the Nationals. Ildemaro, from an outside perspective, kind of seeming like a big brother figure to CJ Abrams. CJ not quite fluent, but very proficient in speaking Spanish. Talking with Ildemaro in his native tongue. And there goes Abrams. Pitch inside to Cruz. McCann can't gain a handle on it. And Abrams easily into second. Helmet going flying to the outfield grass, and maybe a little shaken up there.
Yeah, he might have skinned his hand or his palm. I think even if McCann handles his ball cleanly, I don't think he was going to have a chance at throwing CJ. CJ getting a good jump. Like I said, yeah, that helmet flew away, but yeah, CJ doing a good job at being aggressive on the bases. He's doing it all today. All of his tools are on full display.
3 for 4, 3 driven in, a stolen base. And now into scoring position as Cruz takes ball 3. Nobody warming for the Diamondbacks, so it's Gerardo Carrillo's inning in just his 2nd major league appearance. Does Cruz think about a 3-0 hack? He takes ball 4.
Real cutter. Wow.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I guess he was thinking maybe, hey, Dylan Cruz might try to jump me, so I'm not going to just groove a 4-seam fastball. But I mean, you're having trouble commanding the strike zone behind 3-0 count. I don't know.
Cruz drawing his 3rd walk of the ball game, and now we'll see if Jacob Young drops down a bunt. Taking a long look down there to Victor Estevez at 3rd, and the Diamondbacks already with their corner infielders well in from their positions.
See, I might be okay with him swinging away right here. He swung the bat nicely today.
Yeah.
He got a 2-run lead.
Arenado and Vargas pinch at the corners. Trying to see if he'd square.
Yep. Jacob doing a good job at not tipping his hand if he's not going to bunt.
Chance for the Nationals to answer the Diamondbacks 1 run in the top half of the 7th. Carrillo's first pitch to Young. Swung on and tapped foul.
Yes, I like this. Let him swing the bat. He's had 3 really good at bats out of 4, and got a 2-run lead.
Got really good speed.
Yeah.
At both bases and in the batter's box.
I wonder now, he maybe gave himself a chance on that first pitch to swing. He fouled it off. Now 1 strike. I wonder if now he might be thinking about getting the bunt down.
Carrillo's 0-1. Young drives one out to left. This ball's hit well, but over there towards the line is Kepler. Both runners go halfway and then return on the first out.
See, that's another good swing by Jacob Young. I'm okay with that. Breaking ball, hit it on the barrel, a little bit out in front, but still a good swing.
James McCann out in front of the plate here, putting on some signals for his infielders. Dylan Lyle 1 for 3 today. Drove in 2 with a triple to right back in the 3rd inning. Lyle swings at the first one, fouls it off.
Out of the box, smelling that triple, and you see him kick it into another gear. And I don't know, man. I would like to line up with him in my prime. I don't know, man.
I'd pay to watch that battle.
I don't know, Dalen. I don't know. I like you, Dalen, but I like me too.
0-2 on Lyle. So we got Lyle now with 16 career triples. What do we got for Denard? What's your over-under?
Of what? Say it again?
How many triples in your career?
I don't know. Oh, 70. I had one more triple than home run, so 72 or something like that.
Yeah, you nailed it. 72. Lyle out in front of the splitter, and he's down on 3 pitches. So Carrillo yet again getting into a trouble spot early in a frame and having a chance to work out of it unscathed for the 2nd straight frame.
Yeah, he got nasty. Last at bat against Dalen Lyle, threw a 98-mile-an-hour sinker, and then that splitter. That combination. It's a lot of velocity to cover if you're a hitter.
Yassim Nunez batting from the left side. Throw in behind Abrams. Nationals 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position today. Nunez looking to cash in. He takes ball 1. With Abrams' speed and 2 outs, anything that finds outfield grass should add an insurance run, and Cruz, the trail runner, a chance to score on a gapper.
Good take.
2-0.
2 nasty cutters in and off the plate. 2 pitches at Carrillo. Just hoping that hitter's going to try to be aggressive and think that's a 4-seam fastball and potentially break their bat, but Nunez doing a good job laying off of those, putting himself in a good position. 2-0 count.
Now 3-0. Keibert Ruiz on deck for the Nats. He doubled off Carrillo leading off the last frame. Five-3 Nats here, bottom 7. A 3-0 to Nunez in there for strike 1. Below the zone with ball 4. Nunez draws his 2nd walk of the day. The Nationals overall have worked 7 walks. And the bases are loaded now for Keibert Ruiz.
Really good at bat from Nunez, not taking the bait. being stingy, hunting certain location, not getting it, and realizing you got a man in scoring position and the pitcher, his back is against the wall, and just really good team at bat. Passing the baton.
Keibert Ruiz didn't fully square up that baseball he sent down the right field line in the 6th inning, but he hit it to the right spot. Gave him a leadoff double off Gerardo Carrillo, and now he faces him again with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the 7th. Abrams over at 3rd, Dylan Cruz at 2nd, and Nasim Nunez at 1st.
Hey, what, a ball in the gap? This could be 3.
Yep.
Track team, relay team right here on base.
First pitch from Carrillo to Ruiz. This is low. Ruiz offers at a cutter up at the belt, fouls it off. Torey Lovullo really trusting Gerardo Carrillo here in his 2nd major league appearance.
Yeah, he's got him in a big spot here in the game with only a 2-run deficit for the Diamondbacks.
He fires a 1-1 to Ruiz, who hits it on the ground down to 1st, fielded by Vargas. He'll tap the bag himself. Carrillo lets out a yell. He leaves the bases loaded in the 7th, and the Nationals, I get it, seize the opportunity. Ha 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 ha. 2-run lead for the Nats to the 8th, and Eddie Jean gets a fly ball to left off the bat of Corbin Carroll. 1 pitch, and Corbin Carroll's retired. Eddie Jean, the 25-year-old right-hander out of the Dominican Republic. We were just talking about Gerardo Carrillo early in his big league tenure, getting thrown into a tough spot. That's on the losing end.
Yeah.
Of a 2-run margin. Now Eddie Jean being entrusted with a 2-run lead here in the 8th, and he gets Carroll to start the frame.
That says a lot about how Blake Butera feels about Eddie Jean and the confidence he has in him. And you know, obviously it's easy to have confidence in a guy that's throwing 97 to 100 mile an hour. And big chance, big opportunity.
First pitch called a ball to Perdomo, challenged by Keibert Ruiz, and he wins another.
That 3 for 3?
I think it's 3 for 3 for Keibert today.
Do it.
0-1 to Perdomo. Clayton Peter just got up in the Nationals pen. I think some of this with Eddie Jean as well is the Nationals just do not have a lot of guys currently in their bullpen who possess much swing and miss. Jean through the top of the Diamondbacks order here in the 8th, misses with the changeup, and it's 1-1 to Perdomo. Out to left. Dalen Lyle chasing it towards the line. He'll get there, and there's 2 down. Randy and I were talking on the last road trip, Denard, about the Eddie Jean Fernando Rodney comp.
Yeah, I can see that. Turn that hat to the side just a little bit, about 10 degrees.
Yep. Just offset a smidge.
Yep.
Shoot the bow and arrow after a win. Gabriel Moreno bats with 2 down. Look at Eddie Jean fill up the strike zone near the top of the zone. I thought it was a strike. So did Keibert.
Do it.
Can he go 4 for 4 today with the ABS challenges?
Do it, Keibert.
Yes, he can.
Let's go. Pitchers today are going to take him out to dinner after this game. Buy him a steak.
It gets Jean ahead of Gabriel Moreno. Sinker misses up. Moreno extending his on-base streak with a 2-run single in the 3rd inning. Now has reached in 22 consecutive games and 41 straight starts. Grounded out to Abrams. Stays down on it, throws out the Diamondbacks DH. And Eddie Jean has retired all 4 Diamondbacks he's faced here tonight. It's a 2-run lead for the Nats to the bottom of the 8th today. Nationals will take at least a 2-run lead to the 9th. They'll face a local guy, Taylor Clark, native of Ashburn, Virginia, played his high school ball at Broad Run High School. Started at Towson University outside of Baltimore, then transferred to College of Charleston. So he's a Towson Tiger and a COC Cougar. He faces the top of the Nats order here in the 8th and gets James Wood to pop up on 1 pitch.
See Clark, 4-pitch mix. Fastball velocity will sit at around 94 mile an hour. He relies heavily on that slider, changeup combination. He's really good command, only 9 walks in 46 innings of work.
Broke into the big leagues with the Diamondbacks in 2019. 3 years for them from 19 through 21. Then 3 years with the Royals in 22, 23, and 25. Now back in the Diamondbacks organization. Guy who over the last couple of years has been stingy with the base runners. Meade grounds one into the hole left side. Tough play for Perdomo. Throws against his body right on the money.
It's a hat tip. That was a nice play from Perdomo. Showing why he's one of the better shortstops in baseball with range and that strong arm thrown across his body. Really nice play. Going in the hole. See Arenado letting him get it. Fine play.
When Nolan Arenado backs away from a ball, he
has a lot of respect for you.
Yeah. 2 down for Garcia, who pinch hit back in the 6th. Takes ball 1 from Clark.
I think in Arenado's younger days, I think he would have went for that. And he would have taken 10 steps to throw the ball, but still found a way to get an out. Like, the guy had some of the best range back in his Colorado days.
You competed against him in the NL West when you were with the Giants.
Yeah, he was nasty.
What was it like watching him on a not daily
fun.
basis?
Not fun.
Yeah,
he was a handful.
Ball and a strike to Garcia. Changeup misses low. Diamondbacks due to send Marte, Vargas, and Arenado to the plate in the 9th. Clayton Beeter still standing around that bullpen mound out there. Eddie Jean 16 pitches, 11 strikes to get his 4 outs. And I'm hearing from our production truck that it appeared he got some handshakes and some high fives, as McCann took the worst of that one. Back to school season is around the corner. Join us on Sunday, August 9th, as the Reds come to town. And kids 12 and under can get an exclusive Nationals lunchbox. Visit nationals.com/promos. McCann getting a few extra moments to collect himself. 13 years working behind the plate. He's got some bumps and bruises on him. Garcia back in. Ready for a 2-2 from Clark. Takes it inside. C.J. Abrams waiting on deck. A triple away from the cycle today. The payoff. Garcia chases a changeup. So Clark goes 1-2-3, pitching near his hometown. And it appears it'll be Clayton Beeter for the 9th, with the Nats up by 2. Nationals lead by 2. They're facing a Diamondbacks team that has the most comeback victories in Major League Baseball this year at 33. And Beeter, 8 of 13 in his save opportunities. Will face some veteran hitters here. Ketel Marte, Ildemaro Vargas, and Nolan Arenado. Top 9.
See his pitch arsenal. Kind of an old school approach with just 2 pitch is four-seamer, slider. Does a good job at tunneling those pitches. Let's see if he can command the strike zone. Been a little bit of a problem for Mr. Beeter.
First pitch to Marte misses away. Beeter's given up a run in each of his last 3 appearances. Fly ball out to left center. Long run for Jacob Young into the track, and he gets there in time. With one of the best center fielders in Nationals history up here in the booth watching on, Jacob Young covering ground.
He brought me to my feet, I'm not going to lie. Quick first step and just close ground on that ball really, really nicely. Man, he's such a good athlete and fun to watch out there in center field. Showing why he's among the league leaders in range and outfield defense.
Marte retired, and here's Vargas. Batting from the right or from the left side against the righty Beeter. Squares to bunt and takes strike 1. We talk all the time up here, Denard, Franny and I, about how one of the benefits of being this high is you get to see the first step of outfielders like Jacob Young.
Yeah.
So quick with that initial reaction, giving him a chance to track that ball down. 0-2 on Vargas.
Yeah, really, really fun to watch him go out there in the last 2 days, and even last year when I did a couple games, watching the way he goes out there and patrols center field, and he brought me out of my seat, even though that was a routine play, but just watching his instincts and his reaction off the bat.
Now Lyle will chase after a fly ball. He has it for the second out. And the Nationals an out away from evening this 3-game set and getting back a game over 500. Solid crowd here at Nationals Park this afternoon. 30,032 on hand. They come to their feet as Clayton Beeter gets ready to face Nolan Arenado. Arenado hitless in this series. He's drawn 2 walks. Today 0 for 2 with the double play ball and a free pass. Slider packed up. And Keibert Ruiz wants to challenge. Got 2 of them remaining.
Might as well use it. Definitely close enough. I don't mind that. 9th inning.
Absolutely. Can't take them with you.
Yep. Still deserves that steak, though.
You buying?
No, that's not the pitchers. Or at least Foster. Eddie Jean.
2-0 to Arenado. Grounds it foul. Nationals trying to snap the Diamondbacks' 4-game winning streak. Gain a game over Arizona. They entered the day 3 back of the Diamondbacks for the final wild card spot in the NL. Arenado down to third. Meade backhands, fires, and the ball game is over. Foster Griffin picks up his 12th win of the year. C.J. Abrams puts on a show. And the Nats take game 2 of this series to set up a rubber game tomorrow.
Yeah, big win for the Nats today. You're going to see this 3rd out of the ball game to end it. Routine backhand for Curtis Meade. But yeah, nice bounce back win for the Nats. They did a better job tonight at capitalizing with guys in scoring position. You got to give it up for Foster Griffin as well. He did a good job settling in after that 3rd inning, and then from there